If you are like me, you are probably always building software products based on innovative ideas which are guaranteed to get user traction, take off, and make you a millionaire. And when building such products, there are two rules you'll hear over and over again. Your product has to solve a real problem you are facing, and you should always do the hard parts first. And if you are like me, you'll probably immediately ignore both rules. Instead, I'll spend 3 weeks perfecting the login page, tweaking my landing page call to actions, and building dropdowns and modals from scratch. And then, by week 4, my idea doesn't sound that good anymore, I get bored, and the project is basically dead. But Taylor Otwell didn't do that. And that's how we got both Laravel and an inspiring dev story. Let's rewind. Laravel was born out of a very boring, very normal situation. A solo developer working in a day job in Arkansas was trying to ship web apps faster without any fancy bells and whistles. Taylor calls himself an average developer, and that's exactly what makes his story worth telling. After all, most of the web is built by average developers. Well, in all honesty, some purists argue web developers are not really developers, but that's a completely different story. Laravel was started as a private project aimed to solve the real pain points of building apps in PHP. Then, when the project became open source, there was no marketing or tech influencer to hype it up. So for the first 3 years, Tyler made exactly $0, but he kept going because Laravel was making his life better. Then, he finally got a breakthrough thanks to Forge, which on the surface is a boring deployment tool built around Laravel. But it turns out developers don't want to learn infrastructure just to push code, so Forge had market fit and, more importantly, people paid for it. Within a few months, Taylor was making more money from Forge than from his full-time job. So he decides to quit his job, and on January 1st, 2015, Taylor Otwell becomes a full-time Laravel developer. He was working from a spare bedroom and was doing anything and everything from writing PHP to supporting customers or writing documentation. Like most solo developers, he made the classic mistake of waiting too long to hire because he was scared someone would mess up his vision. Whenever you build something from scratch and suddenly you're Frodo with the ring, you don't want to share it. But eventually, he started to hire and Laravel grew. Laracast became the unofficial university, and Laracon went from 90 people in 2013 to nearly 1,000 in 2024. But success brought a new kind of pain. In open source, everyone has ideas. Most are well-meaning, some are useful, and a few are just haters who will never use your project no matter how many hoops you jump through. As Taylor puts it, if Metallica suddenly tries to appeal to Taylor Swift fans, they lose their core. And the same thing happens to open source projects that forget who they're building for. Laravel doesn't aim to please everyone. It prioritizes solving real boring problems for real boring developers who just want to build stuff and then go home in time for dinner. That underdog mindset stuck with Taylor even as Laravel exploded. After all, PHP was already uncool in 2010 and Laravel was never supposed to win. But it did because it stayed useful and because Taylor kept solving problems he actually had. And that brings us back to the two rules. Solve your own problems because if you need it, there's a good chance someone else does too. And do the hard part first because that's what decides whether your product lives or dies. Laravel is proof that you don't need to be a 10x engineer, chase the trend, or raise a seed round just to build something great. You just need to focus, listen to your users, and ignore the noise. And maybe, just maybe, don't waste your first week building the login page. If you liked this video, you should check out one of these ones next. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and until next time, thanks for watching.